Welcome back to another day on the hardwood, another installment of my daily recap series. And man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We had two bad games, but one was super bad in that Lakers Suns game, and it's still going on. But who wants to watch that? We had a classic with the Nuggets and Trailblazers, and then just a regular little blowout with the Celtics and Nets to end the Celtics season. Now, I want to talk about the Celtics a little bit. They still have a bright future. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those guys, they're good, but man, they just need more, man. Even with Jaylen Brown being there, they just need more. That's all I got for the Celtics right now, because this is talking about the playoffs, and the Celtics are no longer in there. So let's talk about this Nets Celtics game. Harden, KD, and Kyrie, beautiful once again. Harden having a 34-point triple-double on 17 shots, 10 for 17. An efficient 30-point triple-double, ladies and gentlemen. KD masterful as usual, the best player in the playoffs so far. And Kyrie doing his thing like he usually does. Now let's talk about some of the role players on this team, because I think they were really big today. Talking about Bruce Brown, I'm talking about Nicholas Claxton. They finally gave him a real look today. More minutes for Nicholas Claxton in this one. I feel like he showed the coaches that he could be very valuable for this team. A great lob threat for KD, Kyrie, and Harden. Getting him on the lob a couple times. Great defensive player, getting a couple blocks. I think he could be what Robert Williams was in that first game for them a little bit at times, but obviously not going to get big minutes every single game, because this is like a kind of like a matchup basis. But I feel probably next round he'll be big for them because the Bucks are big. So I think he'll play a lot in that one, although coming off the bench for Blake Griffin, I just don't think Blake Griffin is the vertical threat, which is crazy to say. I don't think Blake Griffin is the vertical threat that Nicholas Claxton is. That's insane to say with me thinking about it now, because Blake Griffin is one of the best lob threats of all time. He's just not that anymore, not athletic. He's more using his smarts, playmaking, stretching the floor a little bit more, stuff like that. But yeah, man, the Nets getting done in 5. Gentleman sweep. They gave the Celtics one. Tatum had 50. Shout out to him. They're moving on to the Bucks, and I feel like that's gonna be the best series of the playoffs in my opinion. Man, it starts on Saturday, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. Now let's talk about, because I don't really want to talk about that much. Let's talk about this second game, the one that's still going on. 1 minute and 15 seconds in the fourth quarter, and was this a disaster? It was a complete disaster. Like, they didn't have energy coming out from the start. They couldn't hit a three. They were basically running a zone on LeBron, basically at the beginning of the game. Caldwell Pope didn't want to hit one. He didn't want to shoot it. Schroeder didn't want to shoot it. I didn't even watch the full game. I barely watched through 2 quarters, and then I put my sole focus on the Nuggets Trailblazers game, because I'm about to talk about that, and that was a freaking classic. But they were basically running a zone on LeBron James. Who did I say? Pope couldn't hit a 3, and he didn't want to shoot a 3. Schroeder couldn't hit a 3, didn't want to shoot a 3. Besides that first 3 that Marcus Morris hit for the first point of the game, he didn't hit a 3 like that. Kuzma's still doing bad. Drummond was trying his best, but it wasn't it. And all in all, they need Anthony Davis. And if I was Anthony Davis, I have to play in this. I have to play Game 6. I have to, man. You can't not play. It's going to be a tough decision, because it is a groin injury, and I'm not trying to discount that, but I just don't know how I would get through it if I knew I didn't play the last 2 games and the defending champs would get put out in the second round. Now, another thing I want to talk about is, for us bubble defenders and the people that are trying to still make it seem like the bubble wasn't like a okay season and it wasn't too fluked. If the Lakers lose in the first round, we just have to give up on that, man. We have to. We can't defend it anymore. We can't defend it, honestly. If the Lakers lose in the first round, we can't defend it anymore. That's tough. Like, even though it may still not be true that the bubble was not like a fraud and it wasn't fluke, just stuff like that. If the champion loses in the first round, it's tough to defend. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna still be on the train that the bubble was a decent season, although not the best. It showed basketball, and you still have to show up and play. But I don't think I'd be able to do any more defending after that, man, because it's that bad. The Lakers game just ended 85-115, and LeBron wasn't even on the bench at the end of the game. I guess he already left. LeBron, I haven't even talked about LeBron being bad yet. You have to play better, bro. You have to play better. He was still trying to be a facilitator. No more passing if AD doesn't come back. Don't pass anymore. Like, he's trying to do that. Oh, right when he gets the ball. Oh, pass it. No, score. Score, and then maybe you get the shooters open a little bit more and they're more comfortable to shoot the shots. Although the shooters, I can't defend y'all anymore. Pope, you have to be able to shoot the ball, or at least attempt it, to let Andre Drummond get the rebound. You passed up 2 decent looks from the 3-point line, and you can't do that. And I didn't even watch the full game. Devin Booker. Now let's talk about the Suns. Devin Booker was insane in the time that I watched. I think he had 20 points. Cameron Payne, insane as well. Mikal Bridges, although not shooting well in the time that I watched, he was hustling. He was playing insane defense on LeBron to make it hard. Although LeBron could score at any time he wants to, was making it super duper hard for him. Jay Crowder, same thing. DeAndre Ayton, picking up the pieces. Easy buckets for him. Cameron Payne is looking like an actual decent NBA player, and I couldn't say that a couple years ago. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could not say that a couple of years ago. Shout out to him. Shout out to Monty Williams for giving him a chance. And Chris Paul looked a little bit better in the time that I watched. He just looked more fluid. Didn't score that much in the time that I watched, but he looked more fluid and looked like he's getting closer to being his full self, although it'll probably take a long time for him to get there, especially in this playoffs. I'm going to save the LeBron legacy for a video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that in full, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, but they going to kill him. I'm not going to be a part of that, but they going to kill him, and nobody can really stop him. I mean, 30-point loss, like, what you do with that? LeBron's supposed to be the GOAT. He's in the conversation for the GOAT, and you can't get the win. It's just tough. It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look, LeBron. I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to ridicule you. But I can't say the same for like 80% of the NBA that aren't LeBron fans. I can't say the same for all the LaFraud, all the LeBum, all those. I can't do anything. I'm sorry. You got to play better. Marc Gasol, he tried to do a little bit of something. He couldn't really. Whoa. Did Paul get hurt again? I didn't know Paul got hurt again. That scene, I didn't watch the game. I'm just talking about the little part that I watched, but I just saw him holding his hamstring and holding his shoulder. He looked fluid in the time that I watched, but it doesn't look like that is what happened. He kind of looked like he was, I don't know. I'll look at it on Twitter after this. Anyway, let's get into the game that I watched in full, man. I was trying to watch between the Lakers and Suns and the Nuggets, and the Nuggets and Trailblazers at the same time in the beginning, but I completely turned it off, and by the middle of the second quarter, it was all I was watching. The Nuggets, you have to keep that lead. Although y'all win the game, y'all have to keep that lead, man. Damian Lillard is too good for you to give him that. 13-1 at the beginning of the game, 20 points at one point. You can't give that up, bro. You can't. I'm glad that y'all got the dub, but you cannot give that up, man. It's too risky. It's way too risky, bro. You can't do that. But shout out to them for pulling it out. Now, I'm going to save them. Actually, I'm going to talk about the Nuggets first. Shout out Monte Morris. It seems like one guard always shows up for Jokic and for the Nuggets that's filling in for Jamal Murray. The other game was Austin Rivers. Today it was Monte Morris giving them straight buckets. I think he had 25 on McCollum. McCollum was going under the screen. He was making a pay that had to make him go over the screen, and he was still doing a little bit of work. Shout out to him, Michael Porter Jr. with that clutch 3 in the corner to really kind of put the game out of reach. Although you did get torched on that one game winner, and as soon as you got switched on the game, I knew it was over. Jokic, what can I say? He's the best center of the league. He's the MVP. And it's Cantor. Don't ever guard him again. I don't know why Terry Stotts is even giving you minutes anymore. I put Rodney Hollis-Jefferson in over you because you cannot stop him. Carmelo Anthony does a better job on defense than you do, because even though Carmelo gives up size, you foul too easily. Like, he gets fouls on you way too easily. And Yusuf Nurkic talking about fouls. You gotta stop fouling out, bro. You can't keep fouling out. You can't keep doing that. They need you, you know? They need you. You can't keep fouling out. You have to try your best not to. And maybe Stotts have to be a little bit more smart of taking him out and putting Jefferson or Simons in, because Cantor can't guard him. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't play Cantor another minute because he is that bad on defense. I'd rather have Melo guarding him, Covington guarding him, any of those guys. But Cantor is not it, bro. He just ain't it. He ain't it whatsoever. All right, let's get to the Trailblazers side of things. Robert Covington, CJ McCollum just did a lot of bad things down the stretch. CJ McCollum stepping out of bounds, missing a couple shots, just not looking like himself. Robert Covington, 2 big missed dunks. Not threes, big missed dunks. He just missed a dunk. Like, wow, that's bad. He actually had a decent game for most of it, but he just didn't do great down the stretch. Carmelo Anthony missed corner threes, and he usually hit those. It just seems like everybody was off at the end of the game, besides Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard needs somebody. And if Damian Lillard needs somebody, everybody needs someone, because he was the Bro, it just looked, it kind of looked like somebody pausing the game, turning 3-point success sliders all the way up to 100, getting back in the game and trying to bring their team back. That's what it looked like, bro. He was insane. 55 and 10 in the most 3-pointers in playoff history. All those are records. Like, bro, he was godly today, bro. He was godly. Like, MPJ, bank from far, just stepping up, catch and shoot. Yeah, I'm going to just pull that after Carmelo gives it right back to you. Like, bro, he's unacceptable. That's disrespectful, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That is disrespectful, dude. And what he was doing to him and how he was trying to bring his team to victory and just couldn't do it, that hurts me, because I'm a Dame fan. But I want to talk about something. Anytime Dame has a good game, why do y'all instantly want to compare him to Curry? Why do y'all do that? I mean, he's close to Curry. I don't think he's as good as Curry, but we don't have to have that conversation every single time he has a good game. Just let him have a good game, bro. He's a great player. He's a legendary player. Let him be that. Why do y'all always have to compare him to another player? It doesn't make sense, bro. And I know I'm going to see that on Twitter after you get off the game. And it's just like, bro, why? Why, bro? Why, dude? All I gotta say is, another thing I want to talk about with the Nuggets team is, y'all can't let the switches happen as easily as y'all did today. Y'all can't let Porter Jr. get switched onto him as easy as you did. Although y'all pulled out the win, that may hurt y'all in the future, bro. Like, you gotta fight a little bit harder, Rivers. You were trying your best. He put up 55. You were trying your best. Morris was at times. Harrison, I hadn't even talked about that one. He pulled up. Harrison fouled him in his mouth. That was great defense. That was insane defense. That it doesn't matter though. Dame turned up his sliders, I guess. Like, that game was insane all around. But Damian Lillard that was a legendary game from him. Shout out to Damian Lillard. I've never seen somebody play so hard and play so well and lose, bruh. That's tough. Basically the story of this game also is, the role players for Trailblazers didn't show up, and the Nuggets ones did. Morris hit a 3, Rivers hit a 3, and Porter hit a 3 as well. And along with Jokic having that good of a game, that's a recipe for success. McCollum stepped out of bounds, hit a 3. Melo missed a 3. Robert Covington missed 2 dunks. Cantor can't guard a soul. You know what I'm saying? It was just that difference in the role players. And like everybody says, role players are very, very important. Even though your star drops 55, if the role players can't help, you lose. And we saw that today. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. It was a really weird day of basketball. One classic, one little blowout, and LeBron. That's tough, bro. I can't lie to you. It was just a very, it was a good day of basketball, but it was only one really, really, really good game. We got to see the Nets close it out and the Lakers get bashed. And that Nuggets game was a classic, like I said. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you like this type of content, like us up on the video if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time.